ground generally.
And they've got to have something special planned here to Pirates in Pyjamas, because Team Liquid well-versed on this map as well. They beat out Team Dignitas before and showed that they are very, very strong here on a map where Team Dignitas really feels that they reign supreme. So, Pirates in Pyjamas, what are you going to bring to the table? Already, Kale Fast ban has gone down on the side for Team Liquid.
All right, banning out Kale Fast. They're saying, you know what, if you're going to try to do this big Entomb explosive style, well, you're not at least going to have Kale Fast to execute it. So could be shutting that out immediately. Yeah,
they could. And then Pirates in Pyjamas, on the other side of things, what do? Do they go to something like an Abathur again? That would be a little bit weird to ban out on a map like this. They could, in theory, ban out one of the warriors that they don't particularly want to deal with, but then Team Liquid has a good wealth of warriors anyway. So it's a bit difficult banning out against Team Liquid, to be honest.
Yeah, they have so many different strong heroes on their various players, and you know, we could see Team Liquid go for that early Zeratul. They've shown how strong he is for that team. He's available in this draft. Even without Uther, the power of that hero is certainly there.
And you know Black Scorp's Bloodthirst is out for those kind of heroes. He's like, I'm sick of playing warriors, man. I just want my melee assassins back. So eventually maybe he'll get there. But for now, the double warrior at least meta is here to stay for a while.
Yeah. And the other big thing to consider is just lane clear is so valuable. I mean, that's why banning out Kale Fast is smart, because when it comes to looking for that push when the Web Weavers are summoned, you want to make sure you can clean up those massive waves as efficiently as possible. So maybe this would be Night Take Punks with Johanna, or Leoric with the Skeletal Swing, quite powerful as well.
Yeah, definitely. So they're just taking their time about it. It is going to be Johanna.
Okay.
So it's kind of to the norm here for Team Liquid. And, you know, in the past, we haven't really seen Team Liquid doing anything much like an Azmodan composition. Pirates in Pyjamas is going to go over to comfort picks themselves here with Leoric, another very fantastic warrior, like you mentioned, Skeletal Swing, good for cleaning up. And Jaina, to be honest, great wave clear as well, aside from all the damage.
Yeah, super strong pick in general. I mean, Jaina's just such a versatile hero, a lot of control, but I like what you mentioned, the power of Azmodan. We haven't seen it played here today. Yeah. It's fallen out of meta pretty much across all regions, generally. But if there's one battleground to bust out Azmodan, it is here on Tomb of the Spider Queen when you have the power of Night Take Spawn.
Yeah, it can work. It definitely can work. But Team Liquid, still a lot up their sleeves. And I'm wondering where they're going to go with this. With Uther being banned down, I mean, Rehgar is normally like their go-to healer. They're going to go Zeratul.
Oh, yeah.
And I was about to say, look how excited Black Scorp looks on screen, but he hasn't flinched, so...
He's just thinking about all the crazy micro he has to do in this game. He's just mentally preparing, getting ready for this matchup.
At least he gets himself a Zeratul. That's nice to see. It would be a bit of a shame to not see Black Scorp at least once on his Zeratul.
Yeah.
But for now, where do they go to? Because they've got to think about what could necessarily be banned after all of this.
And thinking about it, did it break?
That's what happens sometimes. just be patient. Bear with us. Look, has both counters timed down. Dun, dun, dun. I could press the refresh button.
We'll see what happens.
And I will.
You're going to break it. You're going to break it even more.
Ta-da!
Vala?
There you go. That's really early.
That is a very early Vala pick.
That's almost Chinese early.
Yeah. And she's super versatile. I mean, obviously all three of her playstyles have validity. The auto tech style can be used against warriors. Multi-shot has the great lane clear, which already, you know, with Kale Fast and Jaina being banned out, they might be going for a multi-shot style. Or if they want to go for more of that single target focus of Hungering Arrow build.
Yeah, they could easily, if they get a good flank with Valor, something that's always going to scare Jaina is the idea of the Hungering Arrow build and being able to focus down on her very, very easily. But for now, Karazim is going to be the banned out healer.
Interesting.
They've banned out double healer. That's quite surprising.
They're trying to force Team Liquid into something unfavorable. So Pirates likely going to go for the double front line with Malfurion. And, I mean, Rehgar, his win rate has been dropping in the pro scene quite a bit lately.
Unless they did something crazy like a double healer now. But even if you did, because Karazim has recently found himself a good height, you still kind of have okay picks later on. Wait, I mean, what would you go? You would go... Oh, okay, maybe it's not so great. This is interesting. we said that they had to do something a little bit wild against Team Liquid here, and banning out both the healers there is certainly that. So they're going to take Rhaegar and put Team Liquid in a bit more of an uncomfortable position, but Grand Paquette is one of the best players on Team Liquid.
This is true. He's a rather versatile support player. All right, Pirates, they do go for Rhaegar. They're actually confident in that play more so than their mouth, or they're going to go for both, which is unheard of in the current meta. Double support outside of a pseudo-support like Tyrande or Tassadar is just, it doesn't exist.
I just don't know why they'd ban out the other two, because, I mean, if they were going to do this, then, like, yeah, okay, I guess you get Mouth, but Team Liquid's well-versed with it anyway, so Arthas is going to be the choice.
Okay. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Arthas and Leoric, they are best friends. Their helmets are very similar. That's
true, yeah. I think is Arthas is called the Crown of Destruction? I can't.
You're more of a WoW nerd than me. I mean, I'm a WoW nerd, but you're a WoW nerd.
It's infused with the soul of Ner'zhul. There you go. Oh, that's how I save myself.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'll take it.
There you go.
Well, I'm just going to say both their crowns are real spiky, and I like it.
That's fine as well. Leoric's crown is probably just called Leoric's crown, which makes things easy.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it is. So perfect. Didn't really give it a name. And then there we go. There's our Malfurion.
Okay. Yeah. And with this,
do you think another warrior?
I do. I really think, especially when you run Malfurion, double warrior just makes so much sense because of tranquility. It could be Tyrael or Nubarak.
I think Tyrael's the good pickup here for them overall.
I agree.
Nubarak, he has his disruption capabilities and things like that.
The only thing I like about a Nubarak, and it's hard to execute, is just if you're predicting the Ancestral Heal, you web blast Rhaegar, and you deny that capability. But
it works.
It does.
It does definitely work. If you can get onto someone like Jaina, which technically, we could have them. They're going to go single warrior. It's nice with Zeratul. You can do it, but even double warrior, I'm still always a big fan of. But Team Liquid usually will make this work. I mean, going for Raynor against Leoric and Arthas here, he just melts them away. Likewise, you can even see Valor just melt people away.
Yeah.
So
I actually do like the pairing of Malf and Raynor, though, because with Give Me More and the heals there from Malf, it becomes so difficult to eliminate. But Tyrande being picked up here, she's got the Vision, she's got the Lockdown, and Hunter's Mark to help blow up those heroes. The rotations are going to be really strong here for PiP.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That's very, very true here. So they have rounded out their composition with a Tyrande, and it's something that we expected to see more of in the European scene coming into this tournament, for sure. Obviously, extremely prevalent in the American scene, as we saw it being banned out heavily in your games over in that region. But here, it's not been as sought after early on in drafts. It's normally come in a little bit later towards the very end.
Yeah, I mean, but it's definitely seeing more play, I think, globally recently throughout the competition. So we'll see the impact it has here. I mean, you just talk about the power of landing the Howling Blast, following up with the Hunter's Mark and Lunar Flare, and it hurts so much, especially in the early game. And especially on Tomb of the Spider Queen, there's generally a little bit more focus on early game for collecting those gems, killing your enemies, making them lose their gems, and then, of course, summoning the Web Weavers.
Yeah, it's very, very powerful, of course. So they do have some good rotation potential here. And then on the other side, of course, for TL, it was always interesting during the qualifying run that we saw TL take for Europe Open number 2. Whenever we would see Black Scorp on his melee assassin, they'd do great and they'd win the game. Whenever we'd see him on a warrior, like Leoric was normally the go-to for them in that Europe Open number 2, they would end up losing the game.
Wow.
But he's definitely come on a lot more since then with his secondary warrior pickups that we've seen him being taken in the past.
All right, well, we see both the teams actually just tensing up, discussing how they're going to approach this battleground, probably just thinking about exactly the way they want to build their hero based on the opponent's composition for game number 2 here. Match point for Team Liquid to advance further in the tournament, but this is the tournament life for Pirates and Pyjamas.
Yeah, they're really up against it now. And, I mean, they came into Group A knowing that it was always going to be an uphill struggle for sure. Coming in as pretty much the wild card of the tournament, qualifying through Europe Open number 3, being the final team to actually get themselves a spot here in Prague. But now they face off against an absolute menace of a team. Once again, we're in that David and Goliath situation here, where they go up against One of Europe's very finest.
Yeah, it's arguably Na'Vi, Dignitas, and Team Liquid as the top 3 teams in Europe, and they're all in the same group as Pirates and Pyjamas. This is game number 2. Team Liquid up 1-0 versus PiP, and we're going to be going to Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Looking forward to this one. As we see over to the left-hand side, it will be Team Liquid in the blue with Black Scorp on Zeratul, Lucifron going to be playing Johanna, Vortex is on Valor, Falcon is going to be playing Reyna, and finally Grand Paquette is on the Malfurion.
And on the right side, it's PiP with Zypho playing as Tirana. It's going to be Ziku on Leoric. Super KJ going to be playing as Arthas. And then we've got Smexy Style on Rhaegar and Quacknix playing as Jaina.
Likewise, we see these two teams just kind of facing off against one another in the middle lane. Always this usual move to this position. Because in the end, these minion waves get towards each other quicker than the top and the bottom. So may as well stand all here, clean this one up, and then disperse over to your lanes because you're not really going to miss Sigma experience.
Yeah, already just, both teams clashing 5v5 in the middle lane. Black Scorp and Super KG going to be going down to the bottom lane. Howling Blast not going to be thrown at here, realizing there's no follow-up.
Smexy Style taking a little bit of damage up towards the top. He's going to have to run away from that location. But they do notice that that rotation, likewise, was coming in here from Pirates and Pyjamas to try and flank on in. Very, very quickly spotted by Falcon, who's just able to shoot them away.
Yeah, so here in Tomb of the Spider Queen, the name of the game is to collect the gems which drop from these 3 Spider Bros in the back of each wave of minions. And that's why sometimes you'll see teams opt to let their lane push out a little bit so they can play a little bit more safely. But that's generally when you're really worried about the rotations.
Yeah, that's actually good design on Blizzard's part because you can kind of manipulate that backline, right, of the units to drop the gems a little bit closer to you because they've got the front line as well as the middle minion to actually tank up the damage for a little bit and they survive onto the very end.
And you're noticing that Lucifron is generally the one collecting the gems. Not only is it safest for him to go in and move and pick up those gems, but he's the hardest hero to take down with the Iron Skin.
Yeah. Being Johanna is it's not even a tough life. It's a very easy life because you keep living it forever and ever and ever. So
because you're never going to fall in battle.
Nope. Not at all. She lives forever.
The other big thing to point out here is just the fact that Raynor did, in fact, go for Seasoned Marksman. So as they rotate between 2 lanes, Raynor will continue to get more and more auto-attack damage from destroying those minions.
Yeah, the sync-up that they've got here, you can see them just really, really playing this out very well. Usually, as the opposing team in PiP's shoes, you need to look for disruption. You need to take like a big team fight while they're transitioning between lanes to try and slow them down with that kind of spot. But it's very, very difficult to find the exact right timing that you want to. You can see Shiku already trying to slow it down at the front, trying to slow them down moving from between these lanes, but not too successful just yet.
Okay, well, Sentinel will reveal Black Scorp because they already knew he was there. But just the gems continuing to be collected. None have been turned in so far, about 30 for each team.
Fealty until death for level 4 here for Leoric. So not exactly something we see as commonly as we used to before, but because they're constantly going from lane to lane at the moment, this leaves Leoric extremely, extremely potent and obviously always healed up. And later on, it gives you great lane sustain if you want to just kind of sit in lane and try and just heal up and continue on being an annoyance.
A lot of sustain available with that talent there. 19 gems now on Leoric. Going to look to turn him pretty soon. Team Liquid has put 20 in the bank so far. And wow, Rhaegar gets just rotated upon and blown up. He looked away for one moment, and that's lights out.
Yeah. Ideally, guarding the gems would be perfect, but it's a little bit far out, so you can't really guard those ones, especially against the Leoric, who can just walk in and Wraith walk on out. So...
All right, well, just continuing their collection. It looks like they actually have, they're about 5 or 6 shy of their turn-in. Vala actually, no, they do have enough for Team Liquid if they are able to turn all their gems in.
Right now, as you can see here from Team Liquid, still really controlling it. I mean, not only does this give them great potential to put all of those gems, on a tank, but also, that was a nice turn in there from Vortex. Oh, grab that down towards the bottom. But I mean, it also allows them to have full control over that top turn in as well. And that's why they've exploited the bottom one to be able to just say, well, okay, we'll get the turn in. And that is pretty early on in a Tomb of the Spider Queen game to actually have the Web Weavers pushing.
It is. And if I'm not mistaken, it's 50-0 in terms of gems turned in so far. I'm sure there's quite a few in the pockets of PiP. But This is when the experience will start to propel forward in favor of Liquid. They've got all this pressure from the Web Weavers, and they can look to capitalize and take out at least 4 towers, I would say.
Yeah, they get themselves guaranteed ones, and that's really, really annoying here for Pirates in Pyjamas. They cannot allow this kind of advantage to go over to Team Liquid this early on, because they will ride it out very, very heavily. Black Scorp up towards the top. Look at this body blocking on towards Smexy style while they're trying to deal with the Web Weaver.
So confident.
That's very annoying, and he's gone for himself first aid as well. The regen build on Zeratul has become so much more popular as of late, with still just a little bit of focus onto, well, I was going to say focus attacks, but there you go.
All right, well, the middle lane, we did see the wall end up collapsing, and ammunition is completely expired here in the top. With Tyrande backing away, they will just put the pressure on and take out a total of 4 towers.
Yeah, very, very nicely done here. Gives them almost a good half a level advantage.
They're playing pretty passively, honestly. They knew Tyrande had left there, and I'm surprised they weren't willing to commit to that a little bit more.
Yeah, press the issue. Press the issue. Not too. It wouldn't be too bad at all. But now they know they've opened up mid. And opening up mid. Oh, Super Cage going to end up falling here.
Oh, but that's a big stun going down on Black Scorp, and he will fall to the Blizzard of Jaina.
Very, very well done. Condemned forwards there. Cracknick's going to end up falling. Likewise, Cypher manages to get on out of there with Shiku helping on out.
And they managed to pick up the gems, and that's the big deal. You don't want to lose the gems. 37 now on Smexy style. Rhaegar having the wall form, quite mobile, able to dodge a lot of the lockdown on the enemy team, but still don't want to be sitting on that many gems.
Oh, not at all. Sends down the Owl down towards the bottom. Sentinel to see if they can find anything. Make sure that no going to be no turn-ins down towards there. But they're trying to turn in themselves. Smexy style with 37. He has to get these turned in. You can see the perimeter that they're setting up. And thankfully for him, he does. Very important that happens for them here.
Yeah, he got the last 20 put into the bank. Still sitting on 17, but that's not a problem. And they do manage to escape with Leoric's life.
Yep, he gets on out of that. Black Scorp and Vortex now, just looking to clean up down towards the bottom.
I guess the big problem there is they had such presence trying to get that turn in that they lost a lot of experience in lane. And Heroics haven't picked up a full level lead, and that is close to a takedown. Smexy style does go down.
And also with this Hyperion pushing on forwards, Falcon gets himself an auto attack kill down to the bottom. Sebcage will pick up those gems, but 5 kills to 1 at this point.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult to make some kind of momentum here for Pirates and Pyjamas.
I mean, it seems like as soon as they got their turn in for Web Weavers, they're the ones that lost the team fight, and that's not what you want to have happen. You want to take the team fight yourself. You want to push in, do some structural damage, but their Web Weavers have done nothing.
No, not too much at all. Not too much. Got themselves a gate. That's about it. We've been seeing here Team Liquid claiming good dominance on the map at the moment. I think there was a little bit of an attempt to turn it up towards the top, but that will be coming along soon.
Yeah, look at how many gems just on Lucifron and Vortex right now. So many in their pockets. Howling Blast going off. Johanna not even flinching.
Not at all. Not at all. Lucifron knows exactly when he is safe here. As Falcon comes in to help on push away Shiku. And Lunar Flare's just trying to slow all of this down, but in the end, Lucifron will get this turn in. And that is another set of Web Weavers, and this will guarantee them all the towers. This may even guarantee them a 4 if they really press the issue, but level 10 will thankfully hit for Pirates in Pyjamas soon.
Yeah, they're very close. Web Weavers will march on all 3 lanes. The wall's down in all 3 on top of that. But they now have their heroic Starfall, Water Elemental. It's going to be Syndragosa, Ancestral Heal, and then March of the Black King.
Ooh, Syndragosa. I'm looking forward to this. So we already see the Blast Shield come out there.
Wow.
Grab. Oh my god, Tyrande ends up falling so quickly under the power of that Condemn and the extra damage that was coming in.
And losing Super Cage there, that's a lot of gems that will fade into darkness. There is no collecting those with a push like this.
Oh, very, very difficult. What a great little start out there as well. Throwing in the Blessed Shield so far behind that fort to be able to pick up the kill and just know exactly, with that kind of confidence, to get those kills. Very powerful stuff.
Yeah, and we're looking at this bottom lane just getting absolutely shredded, but there's still Web Weavers in the middle and top lane as well. 2 level leads suddenly for Team Liquid, and they're looking to keep the pressure on, but a big Syndragosa is thrown out.
Here comes the match of the Black King as well, and looks to be healed up all forwards here to Shiku, but it's not going to do anything. Team Liquid disperse very effectively. Super Cage under pressure, tries to drop the Howling Blast. There was even the Lunar Flare coming out. It was a nice combination, but can't do anything with it. There's no damage to follow it up.
Yeah, but the damage has been done. A 3-level lead for Team Liquid after one massive push that was quite successful.
All basing on back now, grabbing themselves some mana. They don't mind. That Webweaver, what was that?
Where is he shooting?
What? Go home, Webweaver. That was bizarre. I guess the tower must have fallen just before we actually went up there, but oh well.
Amusing nonetheless.
Yeah.
All right, well, the Sentinel will shout out the fact that Team Liquid is starting this mercenary camp, and that's just going to buy them the safety to start one of their own. Realizing that, yes, their presence is on the left side of the battleground, they'll just match it here and try to catch up in experience looking for that level 13 talent here.
Yeah, they don't have the luxury of not scouting that out, because if they tried to go for their hard camp, of course, having all of these forts down, it's a very dangerous location. It's sad to say it here for Pirates in Pyjamas, because it's on their side of the map, but it is a very dangerous location here 10 minutes into the game.
Okay, well, trying to strategically time it out so that they can blow up the bruisers of Team Liquid before there's a reach there. So
I like it.
Yeah, it's a really nice play, but during this time, Team Liquid has pretty much taken the boss.
We'll take our bruisers so we can take the boss. I'm okay with that for Team Liquid.
Yeah, I think they realized exactly what was happening, and they just took advantage of it.
Yeah, they did really well. They did really, really well. And again, you know, kind of similar to our first game, they've been in command all game long. It's not easy here for Pirates in Pyjamas to really do something. At least they've got the hard camp pushing, but now with the boss up towards the top.
It's going to be a tough defense, that's for sure. The towers are falling, awarding a ton of experience to Liquid, who are already still very far ahead in experience, and there is that Hyperion just doing the critical damage on top of it all.
Yeah, so important. Signature Ghost comes out. They're going to actually blow up Liori before even the fight goes down. There's the Void Prism as well. Super Cage would probably even have done better to actually get in there. And but huge AoE damage coming out, as we're already seeing Vortex as well, being able to pick off Arthas towards the bottom. And this, unfortunately for the Pirates in Pyjamas, has been a bit of a slaughter.
Yeah, I mean, that was just timed beautifully. They waited for the roots to be at max width when the VP expired. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Strafe just doing that critical damage in a 2-0 victory for Team Liquid.
And they will keep themselves alive, and they'll go into the decider match tomorrow, which will be a rematch against Team Dignitas from the very beginning of today. And they'll be out for blood for sure.